In this video tutorial, we'll tackle a different kind of menu, the context menu. In Android, context menus are brought up by long-clicking or long-tapping on screen items. Like in the example of our Starlog activity, we'd like to long-click on the Starlog item and have a context menu appear to delete this item. So in this video, you'll learn how to set up such a context menu. Now that's the fully functional final version, but for our version in progress, for the sake of this video, I've created a simple string array with 3 log entry items, and I've already hooked them up through an array adapter in the Java class. I've also already defined an identifier for our delete operation, and since you know we can simplify the menu creation by using XML layouts, I've also already prepared a context menu layout for the Starlog entry. This consists of just one menu item with the text delete log entry as defined in the string resource and the delete menu icon defined in Android. Creating and calling context menus is pretty similar to creating and calling option menus in Android. So if you hit Ctrl 3 or Command 3 on Mac and select Override Implement Methods, in the list for the class activity, you find corresponding methods for context menus, which are on Create Context Menu and on Context Item Selected. I'll change the insertion point to after on Menu Item Selected. Hit OK. And here are both methods. For some reason, I like to have the Create method above the onContext Item Select method, but that's just a matter of taste. Now, one thing to be aware of is that there is only one option menu per activity, but there can be a vast number of context menus, potentially for every single screen item. So you could define a context menu for this log entry, another one for the census button, another one for the staff button, and so on. So it doesn't hurt to create an options menu at the beginning of the activity lifecycle, but creating each one of the possibly large number of context menus for this activity would be far too expensive. Thus, the context menus are created every time they are called, which means every time you long-click on your item. So the item you long-clicked on is passed in by the view parameter v, and if you had more than one context menus, you would have to include a switch statement here. For the sake of simplicity, I give myself a nod and say, okay, we have only one context menu here, so I'll simply inflate the menu layout by calling getMenuInflator .inflate. Look for the menu layout, r.menu.starlogEntryContext. You can see the same naming convention in action, which includes the activity, the item, and the kind of menu in the name. So I have Android inflate this and append this to the menu and pass this to the superclass. The last thing we got to do is tell this activity which UI elements indeed want a context menu. So somewhere in the onCreate method, I call the activity's register for context menu function and pass it a view. And in this case, I'll have the whole list react to the long click. So I'll select Get List View. So now let's give it a shot. DT4000, started. Here we are, Starlog, long click on entry, and there it is. There is our context menu, which right now doesn't do anything when clicked. And to do that, you'll have to provide something within the onContextItemSelected method. Here again, you'll usually wrap what you do into a switch statement. Look for the ID of the item that was clicked. Do something in reaction to this click, and that's very important. Finally, you'll need to return true, so Android knows there's nothing more to do for this menu item. In all other cases, you simply pass the long-clicked item up to the superclass. And that's all you need to know to leverage context menus. Save the class, and we're done.